three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
All right, welcome back to Teaching Crypto. I'm MrFOMO. AZ popped in earlier to tell you the good news. Voyager has been purchased, or at least somebody has won the auction, and it has been reported to be FTX. Now, earlier in the week or last week, it was reported by the Wall Street Journal that FTX was the winner and that they had won the auction for $50 million. As it appears right now, that auction was won, and again, this is alleged, that auction was won for $1.4 billion, which would make the Wall Street Journal off by about $1.35 billion, which I don't know what your day is like after you write a report or after you write a story and then your numbers are off at the Wall Street Journal by that much. But it seems like that would be a pretty serious error. But the news is even worse than the weather these days, especially the financial news. And so what you see there is actually just some people trying to run with the story. They got it way wrong. And in the end, I bet we find out that the real story was that it was off. The top two bidders were maybe separated by about 50 million, but I would imagine that it's going to be something simple like that. But here at Teaching Crypto, we said it was going to be somewhere closer to 1.8 billion, which was the story that was made public by Sam Bankman-Fried tried to jump the process, and he said that it was going to be 1.8 billion that he was offering up, and so I still don't know if this number is exactly correct, the 1.4 that they're reporting. I would imagine that somewhere in mid-October, around October 19th, we find out the actual number. But it's definitely a good thing to see that the number is getting closer to the 1.8 that we predicted, or around that number. Still off by 0.4. It seems strange that they would go into an auction. Sam Bankman-Fried would try to jump the gun, say that he would offer 1.8 billion, and then at the end of that, come out of the auction at 1.4. That seems a little bit odd for them to win the auction after Voyager called the $1.8 billion offer a lowball offer. So again, my thesis when the Wall Street Journal said 50 million was that they were way off. And that it was fake news and that the news often gets it wrong. My thesis on this can't be, oh, well, they got it right this time. I still think that the numbers still have some crunching to do. I still think that they're off. And I think in the end, it'll be closer to that 1.8 that you saw Sam Bankman-Fried offer in the beginning. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that that's what you're going to see is the number is going to creep a little bit higher than what they're actually reporting right now. Now, does that mean that we're all winners in this process? I'm not sure. What I think is going to happen for VGX holders like myself, and when I'm saying this, remember, I am a VGX holder. I'm not trying to pick on people who hold VGX. I'm certainly one of them, and I hold quite a bit. I hold thousands of VGX. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to get a swap for FTT. And FTT is available in the US. You can buy it on Coinbase Wallet. You can also buy it on KuCoin. So I don't see a reason for FTX to adopt VGX, give it some sort of utility, adopt the VLP program and give VGX some sort of utility within the FTX platform. That's probably highly unlikely. What's more likely is that VGX holders would get some sort of a swap. And I'm not sure that that's a bad thing. I know we all loved VGX because it had utility with the VLP. It was, low market cap. But you have some of those similar things with FTT, but FTT is deflationary. FTT is, it's used as collateral on the FTX platform. So it has utility. It's deflationary. There will be less of it over time. So to me, I'm not unhappy about getting this. And the way that, SBF is acquiring companies right now, the way that he's pulling in other crypto exchanges and buying up, the troubled crypto businesses, I see this getting stronger. And so I'm not exactly unhappy if I'm a VGX holder. Now, if I'm a VYVGF, if I hold Voyager stock, I'm worried because FTX is not a publicly traded company. And, there are leaked internal documents that say that they are looking to go that way. Barron's has them valued somewhere between 15 billion and 20 billion. And so that certainly could happen, but that's not something that exists right now. And so if you're looking for what would happen to the stockholders, my hope is that they're either made whole in a cash value or they're given the option to take FTT tokens. Now, that probably doesn't sound great if you're somebody who is a stock investor who didn't want to necessarily get involved in crypto, or the furthest you wanted to get involved in crypto is maybe to invest in a crypto exchange. That probably doesn't sound great to you. But if you're somebody that recognizes the value in a crypto that is deflationary and has utility, then maybe you take that swap. So I don't know what the future holds there, but I certainly think that it's better than bankruptcy. Now, percentage wise, I don't know what we are going to get back as far as value of our portfolios that existed on July 5th. As far as our value that existed on July 5th, and that's what we were just getting to, Luna. I really don't know. The staking horse said, and this is again taking from a Bloomberg article, that the staking horse would get us somewhere around 72% or 72 cents on the dollar for the value of our portfolios. My hope is, and this is me just smoking all the hopium, my hope is that we're made whole in this. We get 100% of our portfolio value, and SBF sees the value. Sam Bankman-Fried sees the value in making us whole, building that trust in his brand with people who have been hurt by another brand. So hopefully that's what happens. What is more likely to happen is maybe we are made 75 to 80% whole, which still is better. I mean, in opportunity cost, at the end, we'll be able to trade again. We'll be able to, pull that money out if that's what you want to do. So at the end of the day, we're going to probably in Q1 get access to our crypto, or I hope they don't liquidate us. I really hope they don't liquidate us either. My hope is that they give us the crypto and we are, made whole that way. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens on that end. So at the end of the day, is everyone going to be made happy in this? I don't know. There are already a lot of people who are unhappy. First, they took that 50 million and ran with it, and that number was obviously way wrong. So hopefully they've gotten over that shock and over the anger that existed there. But I think there's going to be a lot of people that are angry at the end of the day because it's not going to work out where they get to demand what they want out of this process. And, you're not going to make everybody happy, but at least we get the opportunity to trade again. And at least we can stop doing videos about Voyager and the auction and stuff like that. We can start doing token videos, and we can start doing educational videos again. And we can start talking about what, you and I and AZ are doing to make a little bit of money in this space, because that's what really this channel is about. We've taken a little bit of of a side trip on this Voyager auction, but what we're hoping to do is get back to making money for you. And so that's really the hope, and that's what I'm excited about is getting access to that little bit of my portfolio so that I can run with that, and we can start doing more shows that are healthier for your portfolio rather than these Voyager shows. But these Voyager shows, we like to keep you informed. We're also Voyager customers, and so it was painful to go through this process, but this was actually a pretty quick process comparatively. There are some other exchanges that have gone through a lot and a lot longer. The poor Celsius people are going through quite a bit still, and who knows when that is going to shake out. So at least as Voyager customers, we've got at least the lights at the end of the tunnel, and we'll get something back. Let's see, what do you think will happen to Voyager? It will suck if they are done. That's something that AZ, I love that platform too. That was the best trading platform, but that's something that AZ and I disagree on, because every article that I read is real careful to say that FTX bought the assets from Voyager. Nothing mentions the platform. Nothing mentions the employees. The judge just gave permission to the business Voyager, their leadership team, to give a $1.6 million bonus to the essential employees. And so it seems to me that if there was a purchase of the platform, then it would be gone. But they're real careful to say that they've purchased their assets. And so I'm curious to see whether or not Voyager continues. If they do, then everything I said about the swap, everything I said about the stock in a swap or whatever else, all that's out the window. If Voyager continues, then there's going to be a lot of different back and forth, how the customers want to move, and then VGX is actually a token with utility, and there's a lot of that creates a lot more question marks. But you do bring up a good point. There's all these articles that we're reading, everything that we've seen is very careful not to say, they're very careful to say assets. But that's the one question I have is the platform now completely dissolved because of this purchase of the assets? Has FTX purchased the customers essentially, and does that mean that the platform just no longer exists and there's no reason to buy the platform because they already have their own platform? So it's a lot of semantic problems with the articles that we're reading, and it could just be writers and how they want to word things. But I have a feeling that they're careful about the way that they word that, because somehow that platform and the technology, all of that wasn't included in the deal. Because like I said, FTX has no reason to purchase that. They already have their own platform. They already have similar technology. So it wouldn't make sense for them to buy something like that. So I'm interested to see on October 19th what the actual deal is, what they're actually buying versus what Voyager maintains, and if Voyager is going to maintain themselves as a platform moving forward, because they had a lot of good ideas. They wanted to trade stocks, they wanted to trade NFTs, and they've got a lot of partnerships too that will be essentially dissolved or taken over by FTX. What happens to the soccer team sponsorship? What happens to the NASCAR sponsorship? What happens to all of those different things now? There were deals that were there. Do those deals get transferred to FTX? Does Voyager have a business moving forward that continues those deals? Who knows? But there's a lot of question marks there that we were pretty curious about, and he and I disagree on that. He thinks that this is a straight up purchase and Voyager is no more. But I'm starting to question whether or not they've maintained the ability to move forward and function on their own. That's a good question. They already sort of functioned as a TradFi bank, right? That was what got them in trouble, is a $650 million loan to Three Arrows Capital. And so what they would do is take their remaining capital and function as a bank, loan things out, take money in. And if they were going to keep going as a platform, then they would obviously be looking for customers. And if they're going to keep going as a platform and maintain VGX, then obviously the people who are still holders of VGX would likely, some of them would likely stick around. I know some of the heroes would like to maintain that sort of status. But I mean, even aside from the status, the utility of the token, the market cap was beautiful. Something that you can invest in. That platform, like you said, is awesome. And so if you were to, if that's the only way that you wanted to invest in that platform is through that token, I mean, it was a great token. So I'm curious to see that is a great point. And I'm curious to see if they move forward and actually have a business that they are going to try and maintain. And I wonder if it'll be called Voyager, or if they'll open up as something new and try to rebrand themselves and, market themselves a different way, with a different leadership team. But, that's something that's another question mark we have. But again, October 19th is the date that the judge set, and we're going to find out a lot then. And I wouldn't be surprised, like I said at the beginning of the video, if that number goes a lot higher. And I wouldn't be surprised if also we start to get a lot more leaks as to what we're actually going to get. We're going to hear from the Voyager UCC at some point, the Unsecured Creditors Committee, and they're going to give us some information. And I would imagine that's going to happen at least once or twice before we get to October 19th, now that we seemingly have a finalized auction. So I look forward to hearing from them. I look forward to hearing from, some other people who are involved. But like I said, everybody's under an NDA, I guess, until October 19th. And then even after that, we won't really know, all the details, because the other people involved in the auction, I don't think necessarily have to be revealed. It'll just be the winner. So we got more questions than answers. It sucks. We got to wait to see. Yeah, it absolutely, that's really the thing that stinks about this, is the waiting game that we're all having to play. But imagine if we were, Celsius holders, if we had our tokens or our coins locked up on Celsius right now, we'd be playing a little bit longer of a waiting game. So, and like I said, we're going to hear from the UCC. We're going to get leaked information. It's going to come out. These things never stay really quiet. So I have a feeling within the next couple of weeks, we're going to find out quite a bit of information. And when we do, we'll keep it here, or we'll get it to you as soon as we can, even if we've got to get it to you through a hurricane like we did today. Sorry that we didn't get to do a show together. We were both boarding up our houses at different times, but we'll get back on it tomorrow. We've got a live stream planned as long as the power doesn't go out. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Stay locked to this channel. Smash up that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and share with your friends. Tell them what you're learning. Tell them we've taken care of you on this Voyager journey, and that we'll be giving you some more information moving forward. But for Teaching Crypto and for AZ Crypto, who couldn't be here tonight, this is Mr. FOMO. See you next time.